Good morning, everybody. I got my coffee. I got my vape. Let's talk a little. So I went to bed last night after watching the Reseller 6-Pack, which is a very, very fun show. It's on 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time on Sunday evenings, and I'll leave a link to all the people that were on it last night. It's just a fun show. You have to see it to believe it. But get in on the chats, and we have a great time. Anyway, they had a subject that Chad, the Golden Finger Picker, brought up, and that was building relationships with customers, building relationships with other resellers, and the importance of it. And like all usually happens, because there's alcohol involved in this show. It really developed into a talk about giving to people, sharing with people, being helpful, reaching out. Give to get, all that kind of stuff, which is one of my favorite subjects to talk about. But I woke up this morning, dun. I got to thinking that is important, but what steps have to be taken a lot of times to prepare somebody for that? First of all, let's take a sip. So yesterday, Myrna and I did something that would have totally freaked me out not too long ago. I would have really been nervous, really been thinking about not going. And not that many years ago, I would have actually probably got a migraine, got sick, and just would not have been able to do it. Pete the Craigslist Hunter and his awesome wife Anna were in Nashville. And they put out a shout to everybody that if anybody in Nashville wanted to meet up with them and have a beer and talk some business, they would be available. And so we went out there and met with them. It was really awesome. Scott the Bearded Picker showed up, and it was just a great time, a great conversation. Just really enjoyed visiting with all of them. And I was very excited to go, and I was very excited when I was there. I've been following Pete ever since I've been a reseller, ever since I found YouTube. If you don't know Pete the Craigslist Hunter, welcome to YouTube. I'll definitely put his link in the description, as well as Scott the Bearded Picker. He's a buddy up until now. He's just been a buddy on YouTube, but now he's a good buddy. Not that long ago, I would have been really nervous to go out and meet people that I've never met before, and especially people that I respected already, that I didn't know anyway. But I would have forced myself to go, and then once I got there, to have a good time. And not that long ago, just a number of years ago, I would have been so panic-stricken that there's no way that I would have been able to go. If I didn't decide not to go, my body would attack me. I would get migraines, I would get nausea, I would get dizzy. There's all kinds of things that go with panic attacks. And I just wouldn't have been able to go, and I would have missed another opportunity to meet great people and network and build friendships and learn. So, and that all comes from, I've mentioned it before, I used to have a really bad social phobias. They developed some point since from when I was in 5th grade, and I had 2 girlfriends at a time, and I was everybody's buddy. I was the class clown, to sometime in high school when I don't know why. I just developed this phobia. And it's different than shyness. I thought I was just shy. But as you can tell, I'm not a shy person. I'm an extrovert. And for an extrovert, to have social phobias is really, really powerful. I became a professional musician. I was great on stage, but there was times that I found myself in clubs that where we considered going home because we just knew everybody and it was very comfortable. And I'm going to kill that fly. Anyway, so, you know, a place that I should have been very comfortable with everybody. And I'm really going to kill that fly. Anyway, it's amazing what can distract you, huh? Anyway, I'd be on stage, just a club just full of people, and I'd be very comfortable when I was on stage. But the minute I got off a stage, I'd get a panic attack, and I would beeline to someone I knew, someone in the band, one of my friends that I knew real well, or just the bartenders, just hang out at the bar, and I would just suck to them because I was going to share somebody's story that they shared on one of the shows that I watched, but I'm not going to. They shared it, but that's for them to share. But I really related to their story, and that was, being okay when you're with people that you trust, just being outgoing and just awesome and no problems. But being in a crowd of people, it feels like, everybody's watching you, everything that you do, everybody's judging you. And, you're more comfortable with your back up against the wall, just standing, just petrified, wanting to just run away from those situations. I found myself at times when I was in Denton, Texas. I was living in it was an efficiency apartment, and there was a courtyard, and on the other side of the courtyard was the laundry room, which is a very small place, and that's where everybody did their laundry if they didn't have washing machines. And I remember sitting, my window faced right over there. I could yell out my window and be able to talk to people, But I remember sitting there many a time, seeing good friends standing out there chatting and being petrified just to go out there and talk to them. So, I don't have to get any more detailed than that. I mean, that gives you a good idea. I've missed so many opportunities in my life because of my phobias. And there was just, at one point in my life, I was given a couple of opportunities to fix that. They say that social phobia, agoraphobia, is not healable, that you never get over it. And that may be true. It may be in there. I mean, I get anxiety every once in a while, but it doesn't affect me. I mean, I don't really deal with it. Just the opposite. I'm excited to get into social situations. I've always had a love and a passion for people. So, I'm the first person to walk up to somebody I don't know and stick out my hand and say hi and ask them questions about themselves and find things about them that I can celebrate. And I just love that. I love bringing out things in people, their best in people, and being a mirror and reflecting their light. That's just something I've always enjoyed. It's one of my greatest passions in the world. So, and there was a lot of steps in doing this. And you know what? If you're dealing with that and you want some ideas, I can give you some books to read. I can give you some of the things that I did that helped me, that might help you. And please do not hesitate to contact me. I have places here on my YouTube channel that you can message me, and we'll share phone numbers or however. But if you just want to email me, my email is right there. But please do not hesitate to do that. Anyway, but I can share a few of the things that I was able to do that helped me to overcome this. And again, let me add that I have people that just a number of years ago that played with me on a regular basis, and people that knew me, when they just get on the phone with me now, they think they're talking to a totally different person, and they just, we have to meet up so they can see how I changed and why I changed and everything. So anyway, I was blessed to be in a couple of situations, and one of them I've mentioned before. I worked in the mailroom and shipping and receiving for a Fortune 50 company. That gave me opportunity that I was constantly delivering things. So I was constantly going through the buildings and dropping off mail, and there's people everywhere. I would go to their desk to pick things up and drop it off. And I just had, it was a horrifying experience for somebody with social phobias, but it was a great opportunity on a daily basis to stretch, to practice things. And it didn't come easy, and it didn't come quick, but some of the things that I did was I would just, today, I'm just going to catch look somebody in the eye. It doesn't have to be for very long. I'm just going to look somebody in the eye. And I'm going to do that as many times as I can today. And I'm going to count out how many times, and I'm going to write down, I looked at this many people in the eye for this length. Start off with just something like that. Or if I'm in an area where people are, just don't run away. Just stay there for a certain amount of time. I would go to the malls. I've always loved malls. I love people watching. But I would go to the mall, and I would just force myself to just stay there for 30 minutes. Just stay in a crowded mall for 30 minutes. I didn't have to talk to anybody. I didn't have to look at anybody. I just had to stay there and not run away. And so it would build from that. I'm sorry, this may be a little emotional for me because it's a very powerful thing. And then I would move to like walking through the mall again. I would catch people's gazes, and then I would move to smiling at people, and then smiling at people and keeping their gaze, and then smiling at people who didn't smile back until they smiled, and then saying hi. There's great opportunities, especially if you're out and about shopping and stuff. Everybody has name tags. Say, hey Martha, how you doing? How's your day going? And that's another one. Just how's your day going? And slowly but surely, I would challenge myself. And this wasn't, I'll do this today and I'm going to do that tomorrow. A lot of times this was, I'm going to do this for a month until I get comfortable with it. And as I said before, just whatever makes me comfortable, I just push it just a little bit past that. I don't push it to panic. If you have a panic attack, it stops everything, and it's okay. That's a big thing with panic attacks. Is I used to think, well, you big wuss, But I had to realize that it was okay. It was okay to run away. If I'd failed, that was fine. That was okay, because you know what? Just trying was a step in the right direction that I wasn't taking the day before. So, I had to be okay with myself and taking it at the pace. If I failed, learn, adjust, and move forward, So anyway, I guess that was the biggest thing. I started doing yard sales. We started doing yard sales to talk to people. And then from there, once I was comfortable with being in places with people and starting conversations, then I would start asking them questions. I realized that my fear, I was thinking about myself. I wasn't thinking about that person. I was thinking about, what does that person think about me? Which people really don't think about you. They did a study, and the one factor that makes a difference when someone dies, from people who attend the funeral actually going to the gravesite, is the weather. So people really aren't thinking about you. They're thinking about themselves, and that's okay. But anyway, I was thinking about, am I stuttering? Am I thinking about, am I annoying this person? Am I coming on too strong? Trying to read their expressions and things like that, which is good to read expressions, but I was thinking about myself. So I started than to try to ask somebody a question. Remember their names, which is a difficult thing for me, very difficult thing for me, because my brain moves so fast. They say their name, and halfway into them saying their name, my thought is going to the next thing to say. So slowing down, but asking them questions and then stopping and listening, really listening, not thinking about what the next thought is, not thinking about if I don't say this, am I going to lose my thought, not thinking about what they just said, what I can add to that, actually sitting there quietly and intently, looking them in the eye and listening to what they say. And if you're thinking about anything, thinking about questions about what they just said to ask them. And from there, at that point, it just grew and grew and grew. And I discovered that I really love people's stories. Life is all about stories. I've collected some myself, but it is. I love to hear people's stories. I just do. So yeah, that's a big thing too. Is just is listening. Listening is very important. People want to be heard. The most important thing to people, believe it or not, is that am I being accepted? Or are people really interested in me? People love to hear their name. That's their favorite word to hear. So use their name. Don't go crazy with it, but try to use their name. It helps you remember it anyway. Try to repeat it. But people love for their story to get out. I once read that one of the main reasons why we get married or we want to get in long-term relationships, one of the biggest driving forces is that so that somebody knows our story. So when we pass away, that we're not completely gone, that somebody knows our story and somebody shares our story with others. Or just even remembers it, then we just live on. We have some importance. We didn't just, we just weren't a drop in the ocean that is here today and gone tomorrow, and no one will ever know. That leads into some, some other psychological things, but I won't get into. So anyway, that's probably enough for now. If you have any questions or if you have any hints or experiences, please put them in the comments. I would be glad to answer any questions that you have. There are some amazing books. Little Voice Mastery is an amazing book, and I will talk about that in another subject. Shane and Rise and Grind Picker has said many times, promoted a book called How to Win Friends and Influence People, which sounds like it sounds worse than it is. It actually is a very good book on teaching, a quintessential book on learning how to talk to people and how to meet people. And there's quite a few. There's courses that I've taken. There's health things, stretching, physical things that have helped quite a bit. So there's a lot. And if you don't have phobias, you don't have to have debilitating phobias. I only share that because, as I said before, I only like to share challenges if there's a win with it and I can help other people with it. When I was looking everywhere for answers for a long time, and it took me a while to find them. So, I just want to be a help any way I can. But again, you don't have to have phobias. You could just be shy. You could just be awkward, socially awkward. These things will help you to then be comfortable with people as well. And I will elaborate on that because I was very moved by the discussion last night. People are important. It's important to be able to network with people, to build relationships on different levels, for personal reasons, for business reasons, for spiritual reasons. We're just not meant to be alone. Anyway, one more sip. Well, that's it for my ramblings today. If you like this video, please comment, subscribe, share, hit the ringy-dingy thing so I let you know next time that I'm making one of these videos. And as always, no matter what tune life plays you, always find your groove. Thanks for sitting with me. Thanks for chatting. come back and see me.